morning, everybody. Good morning. If you could step a little closer. We're all friends and we can do that now, right? We can actually be close together. That's one of the good pieces of news about this whole event. So my name is Paul Broder. I am very proud to be the mayor of the city of Melrose. And as long as I have been here, Melrose Wakefield Hospital has been here as a community resource. But as we all know, times change, different stresses evolve, and with the pandemic and the challenges that posed to the whole community, Melrose Wakefield became a vital link, as it has always been, but really showed how much and how important local healthcare is and community healthcare is in this community and throughout the region. So I'd like to speak really directly to all the healthcare workers here today. I want to thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of the heart of the entire community for showing up, for putting in long hours and to rapidly adapting to the new normal by changing how you provide care in an unprecedented way, not knowing what the next day would bring. For revising schedules, for embracing telehealth, for turning operating rooms into intensive care units, for creating improvised protection equipment early on. Even though it was far from ideal, you stood up and you made our community safer and protected the public health. And especially for demonstrating compassion and a brave front despite the fears I know each and every one of you had to navigate as the pandemic went on. And outside of work, I'm sure that all of you had the same pandemic-induced stress that everyone else had, worrying about friends, families, comrades, neighbors. And you had your own needs and your families to worry about. And yet, as you know, as we all know and are grateful for, our frontline healthcare workers are one of the main reasons our community is making it through this pandemic. And this dedication honors all of you who have served on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic and your relentless commitment to keeping our community healthy and safe. I am particularly proud to have worked with Melrose Wakefield Healthcare and Tufts Medicine during this time to ensure that the safety of both providers and the many folks who have needed treatment. Now, before I call up our first speaker, I would like to first acknowledge and thank the Chief Development Officer at Melrose Wakefield Hospital, Ruth Fisher, who came up with this wonderful idea to dedicate a street in Melrose, I believe the first of its kind in the Commonwealth, to our healthcare workers, and to thank all of Melrose Wakefield Healthcare and City of Melrose employees who made this co-naming possible. Please join me, in giving Rose and everyone else who made Healthcare Heroes Way a reality, and all our healthcare workers today, a warm round of applause. And I would be remiss if I did not thank former Mayor Gail Inferna for her service to the community, but also her service as a member of the Board of Trustees here at Melrose Wakefield. Thank you, Gail. And next I'd like to bring up Massachusetts State Representative Kate Lipper-Garabedian to the podium to say a few words. Kate?
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be with you in person, standing outside a place where heroes come to work every day. I was just thinking as I was preparing to speak about those early months of COVID when you all may remember there was so much uncertainty and concern among all families, and we were thinking of you when we would come outside around, was it 6 p.m. every Friday, and bang drums, and my son would play his flute, and we would all sort of clamor outside, and hopefully you heard our voices from around the city thanking you for the amazing work you were doing to keep us safe during such scary times. So I'm so pleased today to join you to present to you all a resolution from the Massachusetts House of Representatives. I want to thank the leadership of the Melrose Wakefield Hospital for helping me prepare this resolution, and I'd like to read it for all of you to hear. So from the Massachusetts House of Representatives, a resolution celebrating the dedication of the corner of Lebanon and Porter Streets in the city of Melrose as Healthcare Heroes Way. Whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted every individual in Massachusetts and has led to more than 22,000 lives lost in the Commonwealth to date. And whereas our healthcare providers, including the professionals at Melrose Wakefield Hospital, have proved during the pandemic to be essential frontline heroes for the city of Melrose and beyond, tirelessly fighting the disease and providing patients with expert care and comfort. And whereas Melrose Wakefield Hospital's mission to protect life is realized at every sector within its organization, from the housekeeping, janitorial, and support staff to the nurses, doctors, and therapists. And whereas the responsibility, dedication, and fortitude of these devoted individuals to continue administering services in the face of danger and uncertainty serves as an absolute inspiration to all. And whereas the corner of Lebanon and Porter Streets in the city of Melrose shall be dedicated as Healthcare Heroes Way, therefore be it resolved that the members of the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers their sincerest gratitude to the Melrose Wakefield Hospital healthcare workers in recognition of their extraordinary bravery through the COVID-19 pandemic and commitment to the Melrose community, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded by the clerk of the House of Representatives to Melrose Wakefield Hospital. And this is signed by Speaker Ronald Mariano, the clerk of the House, and me. So thank you all so much for your dedication to our city.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your leadership, particularly in supporting our community hospitals. Very much valued and appreciated. Next, you're going to hear from my good friend and our state senator, Jason Lewis. Jason.
Thank you, Mayor Broder. What a wonderful occasion, and I'm so pleased to be able to join you all to celebrate this. You know, access to quality health care for oneself and our loved ones ranks right up there with access to food and shelter as the most important things in our lives. But too often we take access to quality health care for granted. I experienced earlier this year, I woke up, went to bed and started to have a horrible pain, couldn't fall asleep. It got so bad that eventually I said to my wife, you know, we better head into the emergency room. So we did, and I was diagnosed with appendix, and I needed an emergency appendectomy. And just that entire experience of arriving in the emergency room, taking good care of me, then being able to diagnose, you know, what was wrong, and then being scheduled for that surgery within a few hours. We are outside a hospital after all. You know, the fact that everything just was there and worked, we take it for granted, but it's miraculous. I mean, it really is miraculous. And just one small example of the incredible work that our doctors, nurses, our medical staff, our non-medical staff, our administrators do every single day. And this is true, you know, even before the pandemic. We know the work you do is so challenging. And of course, during the pandemic, we just went to another whole level in terms of the just what we were asking you all to do to help, you know, take care of us and our loved ones. So again, as the mayor said, from the bottom of our hearts, we are so deeply grateful for what you do for us every single day. You are truly heroes. I'm thrilled, and thank you to the mayor and everyone at Melrose Wakefield Hospital for coming up with this great idea. And I'm hopeful that this will start a trend, and we will see Healthcare Heroes Ways in lots of other communities as well. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you for joining us here today. Obviously, you're hearing from a lot of electeds, but the critical leadership starts at the top, and that's I am delighted to welcome the president of Melrose Wakefield Healthcare, Kelly Corby, to the podium. She jumped right into the middle, and we're very grateful for her leadership here in Melrose.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I have the absolute pleasure to serve as the president of Melrose, Wakefield, and Lawrence Memorial Hospitals, and also serve within the Tufts Medicine system. This is a special moment for all of us at Melrose Wakefield Hospital and across our system. As a community healthcare provider, we take pride in our community and the relationships that we are celebrating and honoring here today. The pandemic taught us valuable relationships here within the community, and we are truly humbled by this honor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your kind words and for your support and for the support of the entire city throughout this pandemic. Thank you also to Representative Lipper-Garabedian and Senator Lewis for your moving words today and for this citation and for all that you both do for all of our communities. I also want to thank the Melrose Kind Project and the Chamber of Commerce. Throughout the pandemic, the Melrose Kind supported our healthcare heroes day and night with meals, words of encouragement, and support. Specifically, I would like to thank Stephanie Nelson and Gail Inferna for your leadership. Sorry, this wind. I also want to recognize and thank our colleagues in emergency response, along with the City Engineering Department, the Planning Department, and the Department of Public Works for your contributions today. Lastly, we would not be here if it were not nearly for our 2,000 healthcare workers and providers and colleagues whose skill, experience, and compassion have made the difference in our lives of our patients then, and who continue to positively impact the lives of our patients and communities today. You have my heartfelt gratitude and respect for all that you do. Sincerely, thank you. Thank you. Great assistance.
Thank you, President Corby. It is now my great honor to welcome to this podium Melrose Wakefield Hospital Chair of Emergency Medicine, Dr. Alex Walker. Alex.
Great. Thank you, Mayor Broden, and all those that made this possible. This is actually a truly amazing just recognition. Let me begin by saying that, as you've heard the cliche, not... Him too.
He's with you.
He's with me. Not all heroes wear capes, and in fact, not all heroes wear white coats. All right. And in the words of our very own GOAT, not the one that moved to Florida, he can't handle this weather, but I'm talking about Bill Belichick, right? That GOAT. All right. He would often say that success can't happen without all three phases working together. So who are the phases, right? The offense, the defense, and the special teams. All right. I look at that hospital right there. That's the offense. Upstairs, we had the command center taking rapid fire bits of pieces of information, putting it together, figuring it out, and helping us try to solve what's going on, right? And in the basement, we had facilities, the humble facilities guys, building COVID tents and COVID wings, and then everybody in between, EVS, cleaning things. God knows what they were getting themselves into, but making sure things were sterile. All those that interacted with patients. And I'm not talking about just the doctors and nurses. They definitely get credit, but security, the techs, the CAs, the NPs, the PAs, case management, registration, everybody. That's our offense. And they did an awesome, awesome job. All right, so who's in defense? I'm looking over here at fire and EMS and police. That's our defense. And they were in the foxhole with us, right? They were in the trenches and they had our backs, and I appreciate it. That was our defense. My favorite, special teams, right? Who were these? These were the restaurants that fed us for free, right? The hardware stores that gave us masks and gloves when we didn't have any. How about the hobbyists in the garage with their 3D printer printing up face shields for us? Let's not forget them, right? The gas stations, the coffee shops, the grocery stores that stayed open for us. And my favorite, the little chalk angels that would draw little chalk drawings on the sidewalks and the walls. So we came in, we look around and be like, that's cool. All right, put a smile on my face, let's begin our day. That's the special teams, and they came through. All right. All three phases of the game came through and we were successful. So when I look at this, I want everyone to remember that heroes don't just wear capes. They wear badges and tool belts and aprons, and some wear peanut butter and jelly on their fingers. All right. This sign represents all the heroes in us. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank the city for doing this. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Well said. Well said. One more piece of business from the elected. So Governor Baker was aware of this event. He couldn't make it today. He's on a little bit of a farewell tour, I suspect, and well deserved. But he did, and his office did provide a very important citation that I'd like to read. Melrose Wakefield Hospital. On behalf of the citizens of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I am pleased to confer upon your organization this governor's citation in recognition of all the healthcare workers at the Melrose Wakefield Hospital that worked tirelessly throughout the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure the safety and well-being of the residents of your community, given this 18th day of November in the year 2022, signed by His Excellency Governor Baker and Her Excellency Lieutenant Governor Polito. And so, to the heart of it, to why we're here. We talk a lot about, very much in the abstract, healthcare systems, provider systems, teaching hospitals, whatever the case may be, urgent cares. But what did we learn in the pandemic? And what do I hope each and every one of you who work in that system keep in mind, that at the end of the day, it is not an abstract system. It is you folks coming to work day in and day out, no matter what the conditions, and caring for people in need. That's really what it's all about. And regardless of where your future takes you, I hope it will certainly be here in Melrose Wakefield, continuing to provide for the community. But what you have done and what you do every day by showing up with that compassion in your heart and the skills in your hands and in your head is you make a difference every day for not just the patients, but their families, the folks that are nervous about what's going to happen, what may an outcome be in their healthcare situation. And if we are going to be honest, there were times when you all, during this crisis, had to take the place of family or become a member of families that couldn't come in because of the pandemic. And it was left to you to be that bridge, to be that connection to the outside. I know from my own personal experience with my mom, my dad, that nothing will ever replace that. And I hope you carry that with pride in your hearts and in what you do every day, because it truly is remarkable. So without much further ado, I would now ask the following Melrose Wakefield Hospital employees who are with us right here, and there's a respiratory therapist, Renee Aldred. Where are you? ICU nurse, Andrea Christopher. Emergency department nurse, Patricia Khalil. And housekeeper, Rhonda Fuller. There's no time like the present. Let us do the work and unveil our new sign and dedicate Healthcare Heroes Way. Ready? Hey! Thank you all very much for ably representing your colleagues throughout the system. And thank you all once again for joining us here today in this exciting moment in Melrose's history, recognizing that we have a bright future ahead. And please, what would this event be without whoopie pies? So please join us for a whoopie pie, and thanks again to everyone for coming.